Hey friends, let's see if YouTube will cooperate today, shall we? I haven't been live for a few days, probably since last week, but I got some goodies in the mail yesterday, some happy mail, and I'm going to be creating with it, and I thought why not jump on here, see if anybody wants to join in and see what I'm playing with. So let's get started. Today I am playing with Spellbinders. They sent me this, well, two stamp sets from the Just Add Color collection. These are designed by Stephanie Lowe. She does amazing artwork, and they're all these beautiful floral images. And this one you may have seen Debbie Hughes use in one of her recent card making videos. And oh my goodness, like I feel like I shouldn't even try to use it because she already did it. It's done. She did it really fabulous, and how can anyone even measure up? But they're really pretty florals. I'm going to be using this one today. This one is called the Mandala Bouquet. I just think they're both gorgeous, and I do have links for them down in the description. Hey Lisa from Pennsylvania, how are you? Okay, so I've already stamped some of these out. I have an idea in my head what I want to do with them. And so I stamped them out already. Like I said, I have the idea, so we can kind of move along. I wanted to show you what this mandala looks like stamped out. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it is stamped in a light gray, and it's just beautiful. I don't think I'm going to use this background today, but I might try to figure out what to use it on. I wanted to do sort of a light print in the background, and my card's kind of taking a different direction, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so here are my images stamped out, and I'm going to show you what I did. I stamped out this bouquet image, fussy cut it. I also stamped out more of just the sides here, and I fussy cut these leaves, and I'm going to kind of use that to build on my card. I'm going to set those aside because I don't need them right now. I'm going to build my background. So I've been thinking about this, what to do for a background, and honestly I'm just gonna experiment and try a few things. I'm taking my trusty old Heidi Swapp stencil. I don't even remember what this one is called. I think it's like confetti or something, but I'm gonna tape it down to my card front using some painter's tape. If I can figure out where I put it, I rearranged and now I can't find anything. Here it is. So I'm going to tape that down. And actually, I'm going to try something here. I have seen people do this and it's a really fabulous idea. I'm going to tape it from the back because that just makes sense, right? So that when you pull your stencil off, hopefully the tape doesn't rip the front of your card that you're working so hard to create with. And I don't have to worry about the tape getting in the way of where I want it to stencil. So I'm just going to tape that down just lightly. And now I have it taped down. I'm also going to tape off some of these other images that I don't want. So I just want these polka dots on the top. I don't want the hearts. I don't want the stars. I love this stencil that it's got the 3 different images that you can use. But I find it easy to tape those other ones off when you don't want them on your card. So let me grab a palette knife, and maybe we'll try this one today. Maybe that one will spread on a larger area. And I'm trying to decide what colors I want to use. I don't even know what colors I'm putting on my flowers yet, but I was thinking about doing some more of these dream drops. I did these over a stencil a while ago and they were just gorgeous. I also have some gold Nuvo drops. And I'm just trying to figure out which one I kind of want to use. So I'm also thinking about embossing over it because then I can do like a ink blend kind of thing. Maybe I should do embossing with gilded sparkle. I don't know. See, this is why it's hard for me to go live because my process always takes a long time. Why don't we just go ahead and do some of these? This is Love Potion. Is it Love Potion? Yes, Love Potion. This is the new Nuvo Dream Drops Love Potion. I'm just going to put some here. I'm going to spread it over those circles with my palette knife. Let's just go ahead and see what this looks like, because we can always do other backgrounds if we want to with the embossing. Just see which one we like, perhaps. I'm just squirting out some of this Dream Drops on my palette knife. Works to squirt it out on your stencil as well, and then just scrape it over those areas that you want it to fill in. And I've used these Dream Drops on darker cardstock. I just love how they shine on the dark cardstock, but let's see what they look like on the lighter cardstock as well. They're gonna be kind of subtle, I'm thinking. All right, and I'm scraping away any of the extras. Not too worried about it being perfect. All right, so let me grab a baby wipe. I will wipe off my palette knife, and then I'll pull the stencil up, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, try not to rip my paper. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, look at those shiny. Okay, I'm glad I went with these Dream Drops. Look at how shiny it is. I love it. And see, it's ripping the back of my cardstock, so I'm glad I taped it on the back, because then we can, I mean, that's not ideal, but at least we can salvage our card that we are working on. Okay. So I think that looks cool. We're gonna go with that. I'm gonna set it aside so it can kind of dry. Loving it. And then I'm gonna wipe this down. Clean off those Dream Drops. And as long as we have our stencil out, why don't we just try the embossing thing? If I can find my, where's my towel? Where is my craft towel? Here. Okay, why don't we just see what the embossing does? You can tell this, this stencil is well loved. It's messy. That's okay. All right. Here is another card base. Let's try one more, and let's do embossing on it. So if you've never embossed with a stencil, totally fine to do. I'll show you a few tricks to maybe help you get a good result. But it gives you some more uses for those stencils that you have. I always love finding more uses for your stash, because, let's see if I can open my drawer, because we all like to get multiple uses out of our things. I'm gonna grab a clean foam thing, and then I'm using the foam to apply my embossing ink. And why I do this is because you don't want to blend it on, you want to pat it on, because you don't want any of that ink to kind of smush under your stencil. You just want it to go on top and get a good clean emboss. So I'm just patting it on. I'm not rubbing it. Trying to put some good even pressure on all of these spots. And doing it this way, I think, gives you a little bit more control to where your ink ends up. So my stash of stencils is growing in my craft room because, one, stencils look fabulous if you ink blend over them or anything. I love doing ink blending, but also there's so many other uses for them, like embossing over them. There's also uses of, well, embossing like this. You can also emboss them through your die cutting machine. and dry emboss that way, which I think is cool. All right, so I am seeing some of those dots, so that's good. Carefully peel the tape away. And of course, we're gonna grab my favorite embossing powder, which is my Gilded Sparkle. I love it. Okay, we're gonna emboss this and see what it looks like. I can see most of the spots, so I think it did all right. I think some of them I probably should have added a little bit more embossing powder too, but it's looking good. If you get anything hanging on where you don't want it to go, you can grab your dry brush. Just brush it away. Try to clean it up a little. And then you can go ahead and emboss. How fun is that? I love it. Okay, emboss with my heat gun. And then the fun thing about doing embossing is that you can do some ink blending over it as well. All right, let me fire up my embossing heat tool. Hey Heidi, thanks for popping in. We are doing some fun backgrounds. I'm going to be playing with some Spellbinders stamps today. So here is where I embossed over my stencil. I used some embossing ink and of course my favorite Gilded Sparkle, and look at how that shines. Isn't it just pretty? And then I put some Dream Drops over that same stencil, and it's giving me a little bit more subtle of a look, but I love it. And so my thought is to then take the flowers that I have stamped out and kind of arrange them kind of over the drops. I have to figure out which one I want to use, but that's why I did two backgrounds. So I'm going to put those aside so we can now color our images. I stamped these out in Brutus Monroe detail ink, and then I fussy cut them. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what color I want to color it. I think I might just go with pink because I love pink. So figure out where to, this is going to be my lightest. Ooh, that might actually get kind of dark. We'll see. We will see how it looks. I'm starting down sort of in the middle of the flower where it would be darkest, and then I'm just kind of flicking the color out, letting it kind of be lighter on the edges of the petal. And I'll do the same thing with this too. So how are you guys today? Any big weekend plans coming up? Our weekend is going to be pretty quiet, I think, which is perfectly fine. I always get quiet when I start to color or do something I need to kind of concentrate on. Hopefully just craft. I agree. Some good crafting time. I have a few deadlines coming up that I need to get on. So crafting time is definitely something I need to work on. I also have already a few videos I need to edit, and I'm just procrastinating because I hate editing videos. But I do love when I have a finished edited video to show everybody, because I think the edited videos really have a lot of value to them. But it is fun to hop on here and just go live with you guys. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what color I want to put as sort of my darker shade. I can go with my coral pink. Let me see what that looks like. I'm going to do it on a scrap paper if I can find one. All right. That's going to get kind of dark, I think. I don't want that one. What else do we have? What would violet look like? I don't know if I want to do that either. Blue. Maybe I could do a light blue. I need to go get some lighter shades of pink, I think. Maybe I can add just a little bit of this one. Not too much, but a little bit, so it gives it a little bit of a shadow. Oh, maybe Tampa. Are they having good, nice weather down there? Nice and warm. You would think being in California here, we'd have nice warm weather, and I guess it's not that bad. I really shouldn't complain, but it's really windy today, and I am not a fan. I am not a fan of that wind. Just gonna put a little bit of this dark color. I don't want this flower to get too dark. I want it to be very light. Just kind of adding a little shading here and there. This is the first time I've colored this image, so I haven't like really studied all of the lines yet, which always helps me to color a little better, I feel. Oh, 87 degrees. I'm jealous. That sounds amazing. Pack the shorts and the tank tops. Okay. Adding a little bit of shadow. Trying to make these stand out. And then I want to add a little shading in here, make that center a little bit darker, because there's not as much light that hits in the center. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just add some more shading in different areas. 42 in Pittsburgh. It was 39 when I woke up here. The temperature thing said 39, and I don't know if that was like a mistake, because I mean, it's not 39 anymore. It's probably upper 50s. So I should not complain, but that wind is really windy today, and it kind of makes it feel colder. So there's that. Ooh, and I think I missed flower petal down there. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there with the shading. And then I'm gonna take my lightest color. This is even lighter than the color I used first. And it's more of a peach. So I had kind of debated if I even wanted to use it. And now I kind of think maybe I don't. But it's on there, so we're gonna go with it. We'll see what it looks like. I'll go back over with that pink. I need to go to Michael's. I have a gift card. Need to go and just kind of slowly buy Copics or order some more of these Stylefiles and kind of fill in some of the gaps of colors that I need. The hard thing is knowing which ones I need, because I get there and I just get overwhelmed and I think, oh, I'm not going to buy anything today. I'll just hold out. You did some yard work this morning. Nice. I've been taking the kids outside in the afternoons when it's sunny. I think it's funny because the kids, it can be cold outside. Hang on. Excuse me. It can be cold outside and it doesn't seem to faze them. And I'm like standing there freezing. And they're like, can I take my coat off? I'm like, no, it's cold out here. You keep your coat on. But I suppose they're running around getting warm and everything. But it's just funny how kids, like, they don't seem to notice the temperature. They can go swimming in like that cold water straight from the hose and it's freezing, but they can swim in it and they love it because, you know, they think they're having fun. So they don't even notice the cold water. It's crazy. Yeah, I do need to write down what I could use because I think about that all the time. When I'm crafting, I'm like, oh, I need to get this color and I need to get that color. So I think I'm going to go get those colors. And then I get there and I can't think of what I need. It's crazy. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the blessings. My kids like to do the bless you thing because Hayden has learned knock-knock jokes, which is kind of hilarious because they don't quite get the concept of a knock-knock joke. But one knock-knock joke we taught him was, knock knock, who's there? And then what is it? It's who, bless you. Like, it's supposed to make it sound like you sneeze and then you say bless you. And he thought that's hilarious. So that's what he says all the time. And so my daughter Amelia, she's going to be 2 this spring. So she's, you know, she definitely does not understand the knock knock jokes, but she'll go around saying knock knock. So you say, who's there? And she goes, bless you. And it's so cute. She thinks she's telling a knock knock joke. Anyway, that was totally off topic. I am now going in with the mid-tone marker and adding a little bit more of this pink. Trying to blend out more of that darkest color. And I'll probably come back with that peach again and add some more of that over the top. Oh, there's a Copic app? I'm going to have to look into that. Then I can look at which ones, are they like in order of like, because I feel like if I could see the whole spectrum of colors like in order, if that's possible, I could kind of see where the ones fit that I need, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of covering most of the flower here with my mid-tone pink. Hey, Linda. Okay, thank you, Heidi. Where did I put? Okay, here's my pastel peach. I put it away already. Nope, nope, nope. We're not done with you. I'm going to use you to blend out all those colors and make this a little bit smoother. And just keep coloring, just keep coloring. I do love my alcohol markers though. I am not an expert at all. I will never say that I'm an expert, but they're fun to play with. Is anybody here doing the 30-day coloring challenge? I never start them simply because I'm not like organized enough to finish them. I get to day 3 and then I forget about it. And it's not because it's not exciting and cool. It's just because I guess I have the attention span of a squirrel. Now I'm going to go in here with some of these this dark tone. Oh, cool. So the app lets you add what you have, and you can also set up a wish list. I might have to look into that because that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Every company should have, you know what? Companies should do that with everything. Like have an app that has their inventory in it, and then I guess they kind of have wish lists on their store sites, don't they? So maybe that makes sense. But if they had an app that you can kind of, maybe they need to add that, like a personal inventory to show you what you already have. So anyway, I'm getting off on another topic. Just thinking. Okay, so let's go ahead and color the leaves. What do we want to use for the leaves? These are my favorite greens that I like because they're so vibrant. And I honestly like working with the lighter colors because they blend better. And for me as a beginner, that's really helpful because the darker colors are a little bit harder. They put down so much pigment that sometimes it's hard to get it blended out smoothly for me. So I like the lighter colors. Now, I guess this is a yellow. I'm coloring my leaves with a yellow because I want more of a yellow undertone. And then this is my lightest color. So I'm coloring it out with my lightest, and then I'll come back in with some darker greens and cover it up. I don't know why I like to do leaves this way. I think I just like the color that ends up on the image. But you guys, I was so excited to get these flowers because I have been seeing everyone else, like Yana and Debbie Hughes, doing such an amazing job with these flowers. They look stunning. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to play with them. Of course, I'm not near as talented, but they are so inspiring. Go check out their channels. Check out Debbie Hughes and see what she did with this. This is the Peonies Blossoms. It was amazing. I think it was like a 1-layer card, and then I want to say she did colored pencils, but it was so gorgeous. And then Yana did a few Copic ones, I think. Okay, so you can make a shopping list and mark what you have and then go by color families. That's perfect. I need to look at that. I would do it now, but my phone is what is streaming right now, so I can't. And did I already mention that I have the link for these in the description? Because I have these 2 stamp sets linked already if you wanted to check them out. They are a rubber cling stamp. So they do work in your MISTI. You just have to take that foam backer piece out. Thanks, Heidi. I think in card making and stamping, I feel like I'm still like the flowers are my favorite. It's my favorite to just go ahead and do floral cards. I could like sit and stare at Altenew cards all day long. They're so gorgeous. Most of their, I feel like they do a lot of florals. And you guys all know Jess, my friend Jess. She's a Card Days Work. She's actually going through their Altenew Educator program, which is really cool. So they take you step by step and you do different lessons. And I think she said at the end, she will actually be teaching a class in person, which totally freaks me out. But I'm actually looking into possibly, if it works out with our family, possibly or offering in-person classes. I don't know how it's gonna work, and I'm actually really nervous about it, but we'll see. I already talked to one location today and they actually need an instructor. So next week I'm going to go in and talk to them and see what the possibilities are. So it's exciting. So, oh, thank you, Heidi. Thank you. That means a lot because I'm always very nervous. I taught preschool. I taught preschoolers, but teaching adults, for some reason, that's really scary. But anyway, I think once I get all of the details down, I'll be okay. We'll see. We will see. But as long as we're on the topic, if you guys could give me some feedback, like have you ever taken a craft class, and if you did, like what was memorable for you taking a class, or what did you really enjoy? What were some good things about the class? What were some bad things? Maybe not bad, maybe that's a little harsh, but you know, what kind of things do you like to see when you walk into a class? You know, as far as what the instructor does, how they teach, what's helpful, what's not. Teaching preschoolers. It is kind of scary, but they're just so accepting when they're young. They don't think about what you're wearing. They don't think about all of those details. They're just like, you're my teacher, I love you, and you know, let's do this, let's learn. They're so enthusiastic, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's challenging, but it's really fun. You like the interacting, so like definitely a teacher probably who is maybe chatty and walks around helping you out. I would imagine. Personal. I think that would be probably a good thing. All of these things that I am thinking of now, like, oh man. I don't even know how to put together. I mean, I guess I do know how to put together a lesson plan for preschoolers, but like, how do you put together a class for teaching a card? I mean, I feel like I would get off on so many different tangents. Because I do, like, how do you stay focused on one thing? Be like, oh, and you can do this, and you can do that, and you can do this, but I don't know. I'll have to put it together and just try it out, see how it goes. So just slowly working on my leaves. I feel like I'm a slow colorer. True, everyone will have a different skill set. All right, so I have those leaves colored. And then I'm gonna do these other leaves, and I suppose I'll just do them the same way. I don't know why I didn't just go ahead and start them out with my color like when I did all the other ones. But like I said, I'm a slow colorer. All right. Coloring all the leaves. It's so deceiving outside. It's really sunny. It looks like it's warm, and then the wind, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is blowing outside. It is a windy day. Oh, difficulty with their eyesight. That would be, I guess, a problem or a challenge with the bead weaving, definitely. That's interesting though. So you teach bead weaving. What kind of I guess I don't know much about bead weaving, honestly, but what kind of projects do you make? You did. Okay. Jewelry. Okay. Oh, that would be nice. I've always wanted to get into jewelry, kind of. I have no tools for it, so I think that would be another whole startup expense. But I love jewelry. Yeah. It always intrigues me. Just concentrating on my coloring. I almost kind of like these leaves being a little bit lighter. I think it kind of helps them stand out, maybe. I'll do this, which isn't my darkest, but it's a little tad bit darker. And then maybe stick with that. We'll see. Oh, you would need a ton of tools. Don't know if I'm ready for that expense then, because I have so much invested already in card making and other things. Maybe I'll leave the jewelry making to the experts. Because I always think, oh, I want to get started in this. And then I go and I look in the jewelry aisle and I'm like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what I would even need. I guess I'd have to go back to YouTube and watch everyone's tutorials before I get started. All right. Almost done with this image. And then I'm going to go color out those little leaves that I already cut out. So here is my little flower. I don't know what flower you would call that. But I'm going to set that over here, color these little leaves. All right, where are we? Hey guys, let me flip this around. Okay, kicked me off again. That was a little shot of my face with no makeup and bad mom hair, but you know what? All right. Okay, sorry, am I back? Can you see me? We're moving on with the coloring. I go back and forth and I think, you know what? Every time it kicks me off, this is why I need to go and do only edited videos. And then I start doing editing videos and I think, I hate editing videos. I need to just do live videos. There's no editing. So there's perks to both edited and live. Obviously, the big thing I love about live videos is I get to come on here and chat with everyone and say hi. Okay, we're almost done with these leaves. Whoops. Just gonna add a few more tones on top of them. Here I'm gonna take my mid-tone gardenias. I wonder if it says on the thingy what they are. It doesn't really say. It's just called the Mandala Bouquet because this obviously is a mandala, but it's a mandala with leaves, which I think is really fun and really pretty. I love it. All right. Moving on, moving on. Feels like it should be Friday already. Almost done, almost done. So anyway, like I said before, these images are illustrated by Stephanie Lowe, and I follow her on social media. I follow her on Instagram, and she does amazing, amazing work. And I think she's, I could be wrong, but I think she's a tattoo artist, which is really cool. She does so many cool things. She does some feathers. I know Simon Says Stamp has a stamp set that she designed for them that is gorgeous feathers. So I have been like, loving all of her work because she does these gorgeous flowers and feathers and just really unique kind of designs. So I definitely say go check her out. Look her up on Instagram. She posts over there as well. And just check out some of her stamp designs because they're really pretty. Okay. Is for you, but nearly Friday, huh? Let's see, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 5 o'clock on the East Coast. Still the afternoon here. It's kind of weird how it's like you guys are 3 hours ahead. And then I have some friends that I work with and they're overseas even. So I have to put my phone on silent at night because I get messages like all hours of the day from people that I know and that I work with. YouTube told you to slow down on your comments? What? No, no, no. I think YouTube likes to be difficult. You are totally fine, Heidi. Don't worry. Of course, I don't have a bot like Jess to like put anyone in timeout, which is kind of hilarious. Okay. I'm just going to blend these out and then call it done. Now, the name of this collection is Just Add Color because the idea is these are such simple, gorgeous florals. You can stamp it on a card, add color, and be done with it. So I think the name really is fitting. They're so beautiful all on their own that you really don't need to do a whole lot. And I have different ideas for some of these flowers. Yeah, no, I don't have a bot. I mean, I can get one if you guys want me to have a bot that can yell at people and put them in timeout. It's funny. Okay, all done. Let's see if our background, well, I know my embossing powder is dry. Oh, the Dream Drops are pretty much dry. They didn't take long. Can you guys see that shine? They're like an opalescent finish, and I think it's just so pretty. Hopefully you can see that. So I want to figure out which one is it going to look good on. I mean, I like that, but I feel like I need to add something more to this card. I mean, the background, I love those dots, but I feel like the background needs a little bit something. So my thought was to kind of arrange these flowers, these leaves kind of hanging down. Which Dream Drops? These are the Love Potion. I used the pink one, which is kind of becoming one of my favorites. I have the pink, I have this one, which is a Cloud 9, and I have this one, which is Dragon Scales. And they're also pretty. I love them. Okay. I was thinking like maybe a little color blending. Nothing too crazy, you know? I really want to keep this, I want to keep the focus definitely on the flowers. So I was thinking of kind of arranging them kind of like this, and then maybe even adding some little sequins. Kind of looks like it's raining down from the top of the card, if that makes sense, or if that's kind of dorky, I don't know. I have to add a sentiment too, so I have to look through my sentiments. I want to see what other Spellbinder sentiments I have. What else can I put on there? What can I add? This one is also from Stephanie Lowe. It says, wherever life plants you, bloom, because that one would work, I think. This one's cute. This is Fun Stamper's Journey, and they have kind of teamed up with Spellbinders. There's this one that says, have a beautiful day. That one would kind of fit like right there, I think. Okay, yeah, that one's not dirty, so I could put that one right there. Maybe emboss that one in gold or something. This one is also a Stephanie Lowe. I love that big floral, don't you? This one's called A Rose by Any Other Name. That one does not have a sentiment, so I'm not going to use that one. This one is Stephanie Lowe. Wow, I have a lot of her stuff. This one says Good Vibes Only, which that's kind of cute. But I think I like to have a beautiful day. I think that one would be more general, and I could send it for a wider variety of occasions. So let's see here. What else do we have? I like how that one fits right in there. I might go with that one. Just seems to be made for this card. I also have, let's see, resume, turn you around, resume. Okay, it says rotate device. I did rotate my device. Okay, better. Yeah, I was thinking maybe do it in a little bit of ink blending. I think I would want to, yeah, probably emboss first and then ink blend. Otherwise, ink blending first might make my embossing stick too much if it's still wet. I don't know how these Dream Drops do when you emboss over them. I have not, or not embossed, ink blend over them, because I have not ever tried that yet. So there is that option, or we can go on the gold. But I feel like I really like this light pink. I think it complements the flowers. So why don't we try and see what looks good with the pink, and if we can emboss or ink blend over them. Test behind the flower. That is a great idea. Now I have to figure out like which ink I want to use. I could do my distress inks, maybe, since they're not permanent. Maybe they won't discolor these too much, or maybe they will. I don't know. Okay, a soft, yeah, I think a soft pink would really work well. And you guys know that my Brutus Monroe Honeysuckle is like my favorite pink, but I do have these here already. I feel like I need more of a peachy pink. So I have Tattered Rose. That one might actually be perfect. Why do I not have a blendy thing for Tattered Rose? Let me find a blendy thing. I'll find another pink blendy thing. So Spun Sugar, when I was using distressed inks, was always my very favorite, because that's like the I do have some blending brushes. The only blending brushes I have are these, the Nuvo ones. And honestly, I don't know, because this is a little bit soft yet. I think maybe these would scratch it, because here on this one, I kind of got my fingernail in there and it left a line. So I don't want to leave lines with these bristles. But I'm definitely thinking about some of those makeup brush blenders. I was told you can buy some similar at Walmart for cheap, so I might go check that out one of these days and see what they have. So I'm gonna put this back behind me. I have my mixed media mat, but it's over to the side. I've been letting my son craft with me at night after his sister goes to bed and before he goes to bed, so that, because, you know, he likes getting into all of the crafty things. And so if I can do it next to him without much distraction, I can kind of teach him how to use some of the things, and he's enjoying it. Okay, so I don't know where these black fuzzies are coming from, but they're starting to stick. So I'm just kind of bringing some of that light color over the top. You bought yours from Amazon for only 10 bucks? That's not bad. That is not a bad price. Are they makeup brushes or are they the actual, like, what company does that? Picket Fence? Is it the Picket Fence? I'm trying to do sort of an arc of color. So I am blending in on the sides here too and going up. Really gently, because I don't want this to get too dark. Okay. So I hope that's not like covering up anything. Let me see what it looks like. It's not too bad. I might trim this down a little bit just so it's a little bit smaller to mount on top of a card base. So I'm going to kind of chop off these darker edges too, which will help it look a little bit lighter as well. Because I'm getting those darker edges where the ink kind of sticks on there. And then it'll be kind of like that, and then I'll probably emboss in, I don't know, probably gold, because I always do gold. So they're makeup brushes that you bought for 10 bucks. That is not a bad deal. All right. Trying to decide if I'm liking this pink. I mean, it is a little bit more peachy. Or if I want to go over it with some blue, because pink and blue look good too. And those are the colors that I use for everything, because I cannot get away from that color palette because it's just my favorite. Okay, let's see here. I mean, I could go totally a darker pink because I have some of that dark in here, but I don't know if that's going to be too bold. But it would help these dots stand out a little bit more because they're lighter. Why don't we try it? Let's try it, because I can always start again with the stencil thing if I need to. Let's see what happens. It's just paper, right? Here comes the darker pink. See, now those dots are standing out a little bit more since it's that contrast between the lighter and the darker. So let's see what happens. Okay, so there it is. You get those shiny little circles in the background with a little bit darker. And I can even do a little bit more around the edges up here, making it a little bit even darker so it has more of that ombre gradient to it. Pushing a little bit harder. Yes, I am going to try to wipe the drops to see if there's any extra ink on there and make them stand out a little bit more. we'll see what happens. I think I'm kind of liking that a little better than the peachy pink. I think it's that contrast is going to make it pop a little bit better. See, sometimes I feel like card making can be a little bit of a puzzle. You always have to figure it out as you go. Yes, that is a good general rule. Always start with the light because you can always add more color. You can't always take it away. So I am carefully wiping off any extra that got stuck on top of these drops. I think my drops are not 100% dry, so I'm trying not to squish them or leave any marks. But yep, it's a journey, a puzzle, a journey. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Those spots in the background with that shine to them. And then I think, look at that, very pretty. Then we can arrange our little flower here. But I think we want to, let's do this. Where's my MISTI? Right here. It always hides on me because it, you know, stays exactly where I put it. Let's get this in here. And I just got the magnets on Amazon. They are really strong, like really strong. I had to have my husband pull them apart for me because they stuck together and I could not get them apart. So I think that looks good right there. And I want to add my little sentiment, which is a rubber cling. And I better make sure that this is straight so that I can get my sentiment straight. And I should probably put my washi tape the other way so it doesn't get in the way. But that looks, I think, pretty straight on the grid. And I think that's pretty straight for this sentiment. Yeah, the MISTI definitely is safer. It is kind of feminine, isn't it? That seems to be very much my card making style, is the soft and feminine pretty. All things pretty. All right, I'm not going to use my gilded sparkle. I'm just going to use my regular gilded. Oh, that's pink champagne. But no. Or I could do black, because black always kind of helps things pop out. I don't know, because there isn't any other gold on this. So I don't know if gold would look kind of out of place. I might go with black. Can't believe it. And I'm going to do my VersaFine instead of my detail ink or my embossing ink, just because I like to do that. I like to use my VersaFine for embossing with black if I'm making a black sentiment, because if my embossing powder doesn't stick to everything the way I want it to, say it sticks nicely but in a few places it's a little bit thin, you're gonna get your sentiment not looking as crisp. But if I use my black pigment ink from VersaFine, I don't have to worry about that happening with my black embossing powder, because if it doesn't stick fully in one area, you're still gonna see that black ink behind it. So it's still gonna look like a really nice, crisp, embossed sentiment, if that makes sense. And there's just something that I love about a sentiment looking very dark and crisp. That's what I like, and so this is the best way I have found to achieve it. So I probably don't even need to emboss it at all, but I think embossing always looks nice. So I'm going to use my Raven embossing powder, which is a great powder. It's ultra fine, has no wax filler in it, just straight up powder. So you are getting a full bottle of powder when you buy it, not a bottle of embossing powder mixed with wax. Okay. And all the embossing powders from Brutus Monroe, I think, are amazing. So we're going to go ahead and emboss. put the extras back in there and heat up my gun. And I might even, after I'm done with this live, might even go ahead and make another card with this one and just maybe use different colors and change it up a little bit. So there's our sentiment all embossed. And if you wanted to take it a step further and really get a nice embossed, you could actually not even have to use Raven. You could use clear over the VersaFine, because that way, if you get these little speckles, like I have a few little speckles here of embossing powder that kind of went astray, you're not going to see it with the clear embossing powder. So you're going to have a really nice black embossed sentiment if you do VersaFine and then clear. So my little tip of the day, I am going to, before I start gluing all this down, I'm going to go ahead and cut down my card base. So let's see, I'm going to cut this down to a typical A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm glad you can't see the speckles, Heidi. I know they're hard to see, but I know they're there, and I tend to be kind of a perfectionist with my cards, so it bothers me. But it's not going to be a problem. Nobody is going to know when they get the card. They're not going to look into those details, so it's not a big deal. I'm just saying, like, if you're kind of particular about your cards like I am, it's a good tip to keep in mind. So I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. Which is half of the 11 inches, and then fold. And then I like to run my Teflon folder, this is from Tonic, along the crease and just make it really nice and sharp. Nice sharp crease. And then I'm actually going to cut this down to be a little bit smaller. And now that I'm looking at it, I might just cut some off of the bottom. And what do you guys think of using a little bit of this on the bottom? Do you think that would look nice? I think that might look nice. Put some of that on the bottom of this card. Get some stripes going on. I've got all this stuff spilling on top of the desk. Too much stuff, too much stuff. Get back, back. Okay. I was thinking of, let's put some of this on the bottom of my card base. I'm trying to stay in the video so you guys can see what I'm doing. Put this a little bit of this black and white on the bottom of my card base, and then I can trim off a little bit of the bottom here and then have some of that black and white peeking out. I think that's gonna look really fun. Okay, I know, doesn't it look a little Paris inspired? I think that's really cute. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and come and trim off this washi tape so it's perfectly adhered to my front of my card. And then a little bit more. All right, there we go. And if you don't have striped washi tape, if you have like a stripe or like a striped background stamp or something, you can always stamp a stripe on the bottom too. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just gonna line this up and mark with a pencil a little bit of where I want to take some of this off. I don't want to take all of it off, but I want to take a little bit so that black and white is peeking out from behind. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to take some off of the bottom, and then I'm going to line everything else up so it's nice and flush. And I'm also going to pop this up on some foam adhesive. So the front's going to be popped up in front of that striped. So here's my big roll of Brutus Monroe tape. It's very sticky, and I know I had trouble in the beginning with cutting it and getting the backer off, and I hear feedback from others that they have the same problem. So if you are cutting your Brutus Monroe foam tape and you're having some problems, here is my tips. I like to measure it out, and then I'm taking a non-stick scissors, and oh, hey Tracy. Yeah, no problem. Definitely catch the replay. So I was just talking about the foam adhesive. So if you have problems with this foam adhesive, here's what helps me. Take some non-stick scissors, get it in here, the sharpest part way at the back, and snip quickly. And it will cut back on the sticking to your scissors. And then I like to use this to pop up my card fronts. It's just a nice dimension for that. And also I like it for my shaker cards. See, it's stuck a little bit there, but it's not too bad. And a little bit more. Cut it quickly. Now that I have some gunk on my scissors, it's starting to stick, but not too bad. Snip it off. And then here's the real trick, is getting the backer off. But I have kind of found that you need to grab your pokey tool. We all have a pokey tool. Mine happens to be a really old Cricut pokey tool, and the top is actually bent a little bit, but it kind of works for me. So you also save a little of the release paper and place it on. Oh, that's a good idea. Place it on the sticky side where you cut it, and then it doesn't stick as much. That's really smart. Oh my goodness, you guys already know how to do this. Okay, so make sure it's stuck down. And then I just like to get this and really just kind of flick up on that backing paper until it kind of starts to come away from the foam, and then pull that backing paper off. Because I've noticed that this foam adhesive does stretch some. So if you're really working at it, trying to get it off, you're probably stretching the foam. You don't want to do that because it's just going to get all sticky. So just quickly flick it up until you notice that this backing paper is coming away, and then you can just pull it off. Don't sit here and fight with it, because that's gonna just make it kind of stretch. So, I mean, you get a feel for it once you start playing with it. It is very sticky though, which is a good thing. I do like that it's sticky, that it holds together for my shaker cards, definitely. Resume. Okay, we're back. I was just about to adhere my card base. It says we're live. Okay, we're back. Just about to adhere my card base. So let me see if I can line these up. This is the hard thing since, wait a minute, I almost did it upside down. That would have been a disaster. Okay, always make sure that your card is the right way before you try to line them up and adhere them together. So I'm actually doing this vertically, lining up the bottoms, lining up the sides, and then I'm going to carefully, this is making me nervous, carefully somehow lining this up. How can I line this up? Okay. It wouldn't be such a big deal if I didn't, it wasn't supposed to be like flush with this. If I had it a little bit matted, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But, oh, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But, oh, you were trying to tell me. Thank you. I was like, oh my goodness. I could have just totally messed that up. What made me see was I was reading the Have a Beautiful Day, and it was the right way. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is supposed to be upside down, isn't it? And yeah, so that could have ruined my whole card, but you know, we caught it. We caught it. Okay. So that's probably going to be as good as I can get it, which isn't bad. But there we go. And so it's popped up a little bit there. You can see the, what do you call it? Stripes peeking out from behind. I'm going to, actually, I have an extra piece of little foam that I'm going to stick under there. Since I didn't get the foam covering the whole back. See, now I'm fighting with this foam because it's stretching. This is a little piece. I'm trying to get it with my fingernails and it's not coming because I really need to do my pokey tool. So let's see. Hopefully I can get it off of my craft mat if I do this. I need to get some more foam adhesive behind. There we go. You gotta make sure you're not pulling the foam along with the backer because that's why I was really having problems before. Okay, now get in there. I think I hear my kiddos waking up, so let's finish this quickly. Get in there. Doing some card surgery. There. Because that edge was kind of sagging and we don't want that. Okay. Now we can just arrange our flower. And I want to put this on foam adhesive as well, but I'm not going to use the really thick stuff. I'm going to use the thinner stuff. And now you can see that I stamped this on a piece of scrap paper. And I'm just going to cut lots of little pieces of this foam. Stick it all over. I'm kind of hurrying now because my kids are waking up. Mommy only gets to craft during nap time. All right. Also, I should probably think about what we're making for supper tonight. Probably gonna make like a chicken enchilada casserole thing. You have to put your card upside down before you just cut it off and then put it on a new card base. There we go. YouTube is really hating me today, but we're almost done, so. All right, now we are going to arrange that. Oh, and see, because I did the black and then the black embossing, it all just fits. It all coordinates. That's what I like. A clean and coordinated card. Okay. Now I'm not going to pop these up on foam adhesive. I thought maybe I would, but I think I like the variation of dimensions here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and see where I want all these to go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just adhere them down. There, I love it. Okay, let's take my trusty Brutus Monroe glue with my fine tip applicator and just go ahead and glue these where they need to go. And then I think this card will be done. I'm still debating if I want to add some sequins, but I don't want it to get too busy. We have a lot going on already, so I might skip the sequins this time. Oh, you were saying you accidentally put your card together upside down. Well, that's a good idea, though. You can just cut it off and then put it on a new card base. I guess that would be a good save. At least if I did that here, I could save it that way, right? I'm just putting little dots of glue on the backs of these pieces that I fussy cut. And then I think that's going to be it. That will be it. All right. Ta-da! There's my card. I love it. I really love that black with the black sentiment and the stripes. And I might actually go ahead and do another version with this gold. And maybe with this gold, I will film it so I can edit that one. and then I will release the edited video if I ever get around to it, because I already have several videos that I already need to edit and I'm just not doing it. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. I know it's kind of like crazy to come and watch me craft because I never have a clear plan of where things are gonna go, but it's kind of nice just to hang out, you know, and chat and see what we create. So that's it. I'm just trying to move some stuff on my desk so that I can put some things away before the kids get up. So anyway, that is it. I will see you guys again, and you know, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend crafting. I hope you get some craft time and enjoy some of that weather. So have a great day, guys. Thanks.